All right, this is the meeting of the Auburn Public Schools Master Building Plan Team, Tuesday, June 17th. We'll start with the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
The meeting is being taped. Is there anyone else taping? There is not. Any citizen comments?
No citizens.
No citizens. We have the minutes of the previous meeting, which is May 13th. If anyone would like to make any changes, if not, would entertain a motion to accept.
I'd make a motion to accept those
Second.
minutes.
Motion made and seconded. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
It is a vote, excuse me. Next item on the agenda is the update on the parking lot, and there's a little bit to go over here. First of all, it was approved by the planning board, the design. There were a few things that the town engineer and the DPW director had asked for, and we included those with the design and have already submitted revised drawings to them to confirm that. The bids were opened on June 6th, and we received 5 bids, and while they are all close, which is a good thing, they were higher than what we were initially figuring based on the budget estimates that we had from last fall. The 3 low bidders were J.H. Lynch at $737,500, Maurice Brothers at $740, and UEL Construction at $748. So they're good close bids. So obviously the plans were such that everybody was looking at the same thing. The obvious question is, we had a placeholder of, I think, $350,000 to $400,000 for this work. It's more than that, but there's pretty good explanation for it. When we did the budgeting work, or had the budgeting work done as a courtesy to us last fall, there were items that were not in the budget at that time. Some of the big ones were the old septic system. Removal of the old septic system was not included. Once the engineer did the design and we did the test pits, it became obvious we had to take the old system out, and that would involve pulling all the tanks out. And then he had almost 1,600 feet of piping that they'll have to dig out, not remove the pipe, just crush the pipe in place and then bury it again. So there's quite a bit of money there to do that. The second thing that was in the final design, not in the original one, it was a complete new infiltration system, which is a sort of a retention system that had to be placed under the original parking lot area to handle the impervious of the old parking lot. So that really is the big dollar difference. And then when we went to the DCG, for various reasons, different members of the DCG, they had different requests that they would like to have added to it. One was a lower gate so that when the kids are out into that lower parking lot, cars can't get down into there. And then once we put the gate there, they wanted the sidewalk, which it certainly makes sense. And then we put a guardrail all the way around the upper parking lot. So that was another good chunk of money. And then the final one was the lighting system that I think we were assuming we were just going to use the original lighting system, which consisted of one light on the pole in the street light. So that didn't work. So they have lit the entire thing. I think there's 8 lights there now. So as they say, we were in the $350,000 to $400,000. It came in the 7s. It is more money, but there's a whole lot more work than what we were thinking last fall.
How does that affect the rest of the project?
Well, if you go back and look at the minutes when when we broke into two committees, and it was always the priority that the parking lot and the drop-off was the priority of the work here. So, you know, instead of maybe 25 or 30% of the budget, it's close to 45% of the budget. So, you know, obviously, we would make the recommendation, and the school committee will have to vote on this, but I don't see, and I think I've talked with Joe, I don't see not doing it.
It has to happen for
Yeah,
the project,
it
there's no
has to.
question about it.
That has to be done.
Yeah.
Yeah, so.
But we kind of promised that we wouldn't be going back to the town for.
No, I don't think, in the next item on the agenda is we can go over the work within the building, but I think if we, you know, if we try to piece that out as much as we can, and we can work at that, you know, we've got time, so,
I take your word for it.
yeah. Well,
Did they give you a reason why you gotta crush that pipe?
because the pipe isn't a structural pipe, and it isn't designed to support the weight of traffic. Now, given that, could it remain in place and not even know it 50 years from now, who knows? But, you know, the engineer's the guy with the stamp on the drawing, so.
Now that sidewalk, does it go from Swanson all the way in?
I'm sorry, Mac, I didn't,
Okay, that sidewalk goes from, does it go is there any curb breaks in that sidewalk? Does it go straight into the building?
It only goes down below Mark. It doesn't, it's not the sidewalk for the whole thing. It just starts at the street, at the driveway and goes down where the kitchen used to be.
Okay. And,
The existence, through the chair, the existing sidewalk
Yeah.
would stay in front of the building as it is now.
Yeah.
that's correct.
So where the sign is, so that sidewalk would stay, Mark, and that will take you right up into the front of the building.
Right.
is that gonna be asphalt?
That sidewalk will be asphalt, that's correct.
So it'll be top, right?
That's correct.
Currently is
Okay.
now.
Okay.
That's correct.
Even a new one too?
The new center one is concrete, the rest, the remainder of them are asphalt.
Is the reason why you're going concrete?
It just lasts better.
Really? When you put when they put the extensions, don't put them in too deep.
I'm sorry, Mark, could you
When
say?
they put the cement in, right?
Right,
They put like a crack or like a,
an expansion
expansion,
joint.
yeah.
sure. Yes,
don't put them just don't put them too deep. If I hit with my white can, I'm gonna stop if
okay.
they're too deep.
Yeah, we can make note of that.
Yeah, I'd rather see asphalt, but,
Uh-huh.
Asphalt's a liquid. It actually moves.
yeah,
If you
but
look at the
it's,
sidewalks in front of my house, they've
Right.
moved about 6 inches down the hill because they're liquid over years.
I don't-
Just from a durability standpoint,
Okay.
concrete is much better, so. So with that,
Forks and hills.
do we want to make a motion to recommend it to the school committee, or?
I'd like to make a motion that we recommend moving forward with J.H. Lynch at $737,500.
second?
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay. What happens from,
Can you explain when it could get started?
yeah, we have a
Next week.
pre-construction meeting tentatively scheduled
26,
for the 26th, which is
a
Wednesday?
week from Thursday.
Thursday,
It's
okay.
after the school.
After the school empties out. So we need to explain it to the school committee Thursday night.
Correct.
And if they approve, which we're assuming they will,
She said the
they should be in the ground the Monday after the 26th, I would think. So it should happen pretty quickly.
Anticipated completion.
Contract calls for it to be completed by August 15th. So it's going to happen quick. Yeah. Okay, next item on the agenda. The building renovations, and at the last meeting, we had, we voted on the renovation in the basement, putting the teacher's dining room in the locker room, and there's quite a bit of work in there. And with the outside budget coming in a little bit higher than we thought, School administration went back and looked, and was there a way to put the teachers' area in the woodshop area so that the teachers and the kitchen would share that expanded woodshop? And that's the drawing that we attached to your drawing. So what would actually happen, there's an existing toilet in the back that would get made accessible. And then we'll put a small kitchenette area in the corner. And then there'll be dining for 20 teachers and a teacher work area adjacent to that. So, and that's been reviewed by school administration, happy with it, I understand? Okay. So that kind of saves us the money working in the locker rooms, which could have been
A lot less expensive.
a little pricey. We'll leave the two restrooms alone, and then the other part of the area that we had talked about last week was the new student restrooms in the cafeteria, and they remain. And then up in the general office area, it really gets gutted, but fit up with a minimal new rooms. And if you look at it, and again, this is after review with the administration, you have a nurse's area, a toilet room, and an area for the kids to lay down. The toilet room may end up in the middle of that, but basically it's just one little cube. And by doing that, we save quite a bit of wall space, and we also make the general office area and the reception all one room, which is probably better for everybody. And then the principal stays on the other end and has the small existing restaurant.
And that also makes sure that all staff and the administration has an outside window.
Yep, yep. And then there's been some, I don't know if it's how far it's gone, but some comment that we may want to have a door from the vestibule directly
Correct.
into the reception area, which would be a locked door. but-
Locked door,
Yep.
secured door.
Yep, yep. But again, that, that amount of money, that amount of work in that space is pretty minimal, really. It's not a huge project.
There's no structural elements to be
Yeah,
involved.
nothing, it's just gutting the shell, basically, and fitting it back up.
And what are we gonna do for walls?
It would be steel, typical commercial steel stud driveway.
Yeah, drywall, glue board?
Yep,
Yeah, At high school, they put all that Mickey Mouse board up there. That we got arrested for.
Don't stop.
Stupid.
You can't.
Yeah, that's where it ran up our doggone asbestos removal thing.
what do you mean, in the old high school?
Yeah.
Excuse me. Oh.
Yeah, remember they had all that paneling all over?
Oh,
with the
okay,
doggone
okay,
asbestos? I was
okay.
wondering what's
Yep.
in there now, I
Yeah.
forgot.
Glued on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Adhesive.
Yeah, right.
Joe?
It had
Has this
asbestos.
been gone over by the police department, this door here?
No, I think where we are with this is to get it, we're at a point where we think it's feasible financially and the
Yep.
layout.
I-
Suitable to the school department. And then what we'll do is sit down with the two building inspectors, the plumbing and the building inspector. If it's okay with them, then we certainly can go to the police.
I would,
It might be early.
I would kind of recommend that we do the school safety officer.
Yep. Brian?
Yes.
Well, it's gonna be a locked door, right?
Yeah, but it's still, you're,
Electric release?
Locked and alarmed.
once you're in that area there, you're in the building.
You can go anywhere, interior.
Actually, through the chair, you won't be.
Until somebody
There's
appears.
two sets of doors.
Right.
You come into the building, and then there's another set of doors you gotta go through. They wanna put a
Correct.
door to the right.
Through the chair. We also have, the vestible's gonna be increased, Joe. So this is actually gonna be, this door is actually gonna be closed, and the only way you're gonna get in there is you're gonna be buzzed in.
Yeah.
And one of the problems that the safety committee has is coming into this particular building and having access to go down the two different corridors. By having a door inside this vestibule area, it would be a buzzed-in door, It will prevent someone from coming in, being buzzed in, and then going in either direction. So if you're picking up your child who's sick from like an early release day, this receptionist could buzz you in directly right into here. So now you're right into the office, so it prevents you from wandering about.
And right into the nurse's office, too.
Yeah.
Make sense?
Yeah, kind of. I'm still looking at, if somebody under a pretense gets in there, then you're right into the,
Well, they can't go through this door any more than they can go through
Yep.
that door
Yep.
without someone letting them. And I
Yep.
think what Joe is saying, they're concerned about someone going through this
through this
inner
door and going
and
straight
they're-
or taking
Sure,
a right, yeah,
sure.
or a left,
Exactly.
as it may be.
Exactly.
And you can't see where they're going because there are walls there.
If I could ask a question?
Sure.
If there's a performance in the auditorium for, family like they do, are these doors open to the bathrooms when that's going on, or how's that going to work?
Through the chair, if you were having an event after hours, these doors would be obviously open, in the open position, because technically during the day they're locked. So if you're having an event, these doors would be sprung open, so you'd have access to these two bathrooms as well.
And am I looking at this, there's one bathroom that's only accessible through the vestibule, and the other one is accessible
Correct.
when you're through the vestibule?
Most likely these, we still have to review this with the building inspector, but most likely these would be turned over to a staff bathroom, not student bathrooms.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. So the third part of trying to save some money on the interior, the first part was moving the teacher room in the basement. The second part was in this general office area, trying to make that as simple as we can. And then the third part is the replacement of the vestibule doors, both sets of doors. And I think what we feel we can do is to put that out to bid separately, so that it's not part of the performance, the contract next year. And we should be able to save our money, save ourselves a pretty good chunk of money by doing that. So Joe has already received some numbers. We haven't put it out to bid yet, but he's got numbers that has a pretty good handle on what the cost is going to be. So that's something that we can do. We may get one set of them done this summer, but and the other one done during one of the vacations of next year. So, and then, assuming this gets approved, this layout, everybody's happy with it here. We meet with the plumbing inspector, the building inspector, if they're happy with it. Then at that point, we want to put out an RFP for an architect to put this all together, put a stamp on it. So,
Construction is anticipated for summer 2015.
2015, that's correct. Any other questions or comments? Or?
Through the chair, I just have one question about the vestibule. Does that go from floor to ceiling, or will it go halfway?
Oh no, it
Floor to
goes.
ceiling.
It actually goes floor to deck.
Okay,
Yeah. Which would be above the ceiling.
okay.
Any other questions? No? So given that, I guess the thought to proceed is to, hopefully the school committee will approve the parking lot Thursday. We'll get going on that. We'll meet with the building inspectors over the next few weeks. And then possibly by the next meeting have an RFP out for an architect. So,
Mr. Chairman, would we want this area to be put in a format such as the teacher's lounge for the spray department?
what do you mean?
Let David deal with the toilet situation? Or leave it as is? but we'll move that to the middle.
Yep, so put it in the middle. Yeah, we can do that, sure.
Before it goes to the
Yep,
school.
yep. I don't think we're really anticipating this would go to, we don't need to.
Well, is there a recommendation?
No, we don't need to go for the actual layout to the
No,
school.
what you'd need for school committee would be the recommendation that's been made on the parking lot.
Right.
So they really need your recommendation before signing a contract.
Right.
The layout and all of that will
So
provide
we've
them
got
an
maybe
update.
a year yet on
Yeah.
this.
Yeah, well,
Not a year, but.
no, another year. This thing wants to be bid December or January at the
Oh,
latest.
this
so-
year,
Yeah.
oh, yeah.
So if we've got this summer to maybe ratchet up the budget a little bit, get an architect on board, and then a couple of months to put the plans together, so. And then if we do bid it, say we bid it in December, the thought after kicking it around a little bit, we bid it in December, if it is still tight, and we're still tight for money, this general office area, maybe we could do it GCing it ourselves and just hire individual subcontractors. Or there's some possibility that DPW would maybe be able to do something too. So, but we would be knowing that 6 months before we needed to actually get it done. So,
Through the chair, can I just ask a question?
Sure.
If the anticipated start is the summer of 2015, and I know that in terms of money and the things that you're asking for now and putting this up for bid, in terms of how long it would take to be able to do this, would it be possible to do it prior to the summer? I'm just thinking about all the movement that would be going on and just the timing of it. I don't know if there's a way to,
which area?
the whole office area.
The whole office area?
The school's in session now, so that-
Can you do like a during February vacation?
You wouldn't do it in a week.
Okay.
No.
No, there's no way to do it in a week. It could be done, it could be bid so that this was done separately, and it was done like off hours. There's money there. You know what I mean? It's more costly to do it that way. And it would be more costly to do it this part, and then 2 months later
Piecemeal.
do the rest of it. So.
Okay.
But as we get closer to it, I mean, that's always an option.
Through the chair, if I could ask another
Yeah.
question? I don't know if the nurse still does this, but back when I was teaching, which
Yeah.
isn't that long ago, they would do like a hearing test for the 7th grade, just as a for instance.
Yeah.
And they had the children come in small groups into the nurse's office for this. Is there a way that that kind of a group can be accommodated in here?
I have no idea.
I
think
can't
so.
tell by
I gotta
looking at
believe there
it.
is,
I would believe so.
Looks like
If
what-
you move space, then there is that.
sure.
And
maybe
if
a lot
not,
more
Well,
space.
they used to line them up out the hall because the way it was, they had that counter and they lined up there and they went that way.
What is it, one kid is tested at a time?
Well, they have like 3
I
or
think your
4
flow would
come
be,
down at
I
a
think your
time.
flow would be
or-
better. You'd be
Through the
coming
chair,
in
This is actually a much
much better.
is.
area,
Yeah.
yeah, so I think it would actually accommodate it better, far
Okay.
better than it does.
I was just looking at all the
Yeah.
walls and wondering where they put them, but,
And also through the chair, outside the nurse's office, there's a direct door from the hallway going in into here, so you would actually, could funnel them through here, through the nurse's office, through the kids' area, and go out through the main office and go back out. So I think there's a much better flow here than it would
Okay.
be in the existing middle school now.
okay, thank you.
Right, come in here, there's a door here, they can get tested here. Go right, yeah, just,
What do you need from this committee, Mr. Chairman, as far as moving
That's
forward
probably
with
right.
getting
she asked that question because she didn't see the door.
RFP?
There will be a door there.
Oh, okay.
I
Okay.
think we need to run it by the building inspector. It is okay.
So we don't need anything tonight.
No, I don't think so. And then we need to put an RFP together for an architect with a limited amount of money. Joe, if we're under 10 or under 25
On the 25.
with 3
With
bids,
3 bids.
so we could solicit it with a not to exceed number,
Right.
22,
I don't think
25,
that
whatever
could be
it is,
achieved.
and then see what we do
No.
and get 3 bids. So,
Haven't
Is there much architect work that has to be done?
I guess it would be from whose perspective you're saying.
Yeah.
We've done a lot of the legwork here, but when you hire an architect, he'll tell you that there is a lot to do. So,
Many hours,
Joe, why are you smiling?
yeah,
expensive hours.
yeah.
Doing it on my lunch.
But he's putting his stamp on it too, you know,
Okay.
so it's just like the site work. There were things that if an engineer was involved, we probably wouldn't have done, but his stamp is the one that's on it, so that's the way it's gonna be done, so. Any other questions, comments on the building renovation?
Where are we with the roof, Rick?
Joe, on the
On the roof, we were accepted through MSBA through the Accelerated Repair Program.
Oh, good.
So that's the good news is. So we have 3 months, Mary Ellen, to,
We actually need to submit some documents for the next phase by August 3rd to them, not having a real commitment until December of 2015. So we have some time. We're looking at CIP funds. We may need to do some reappropriation, but they'll be assigning an OPM probably not until the fall to come out and do a more formal assessment.
So when would you actually do the roof then?
When we got the money.
it could be realistically 16.
Yeah,
Okay.
probably the spring of 16.
Is there many leaks in it? Just because see all I can do all the work inside, I was wondering.
We've
Sure.
had repair work done throughout the year.
It's just
So
old, Mark.
Yeah, it's old, yeah.
It's old, and you know what? In fact, we recently had a company come in a couple months ago and did some patching for the seam work. It's certainly exceeded its life expectancy.
Oh, yeah.
So we're
It's a
buying some
senior
time.
citizen, but it's a healthy senior
It's
citizen.
very healthy. It's getting a lot of help along the way.
Blue here special.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hear that, Ron?
And then the other part of that, Joe has already awarded the playground, and that's
Yes.
going to be done this spring, so.
Actually, the equipment's being delivered a day ahead of schedule. It's coming actually tomorrow to be on site, and the DPW is excavating the site starting tomorrow and anticipating to be installed on the 30th of this month. Should take them a couple days to do. The timing will be, you can't ask for better timing.
Yep,
You know, these guys will be out, and hopefully Lynch will be in.
yep, yep.
and
And then some of the classroom air conditioning will be done this summer too, a bit of it.
A bit of it. We've already met with Guardian Energy regarding a couple test classrooms to get started.
Any other questions, comments, new business, old business?
The playground stuff can be secured? Well, it's not in place yet?
Anything that will walk will be put into the trailer.
Okay,
Anything that's going to be there, you probably wouldn't be able to move.
Okay,
So we're
good.
not worried about it going.
Next meeting, do we know when the SPC?
We don't know when they'll meet next. I don't know if they,
What's today, the 10th?
today is the
Tuesday the
17th.
17th.
17th, excellent.
So I don't know if, I do know a member of the master plan team has indicated that she's not available at least through the fall on Tuesdays. That's typically when SBC holds their meetings, but I don't know with summer if they're gonna continue on the every 4-week
Yeah,
meeting schedule or not, to be honest with you, so.
you would think they wouldn't go more than 4 weeks.
I'm thinking not, so I mean, I would say we're probably
20
looking at July
22nd.
8th or 15th, 22nd, somewhere in there.
22nd, would that work? Yep.
You go the
Do you want
15th?
22nd to the
You want to go
Tuesday?
the 15th?
Yeah,
Sure.
so the SBC does Tuesdays, and we have a quorum, so.
15th is fine, sure.
So if we just say the 15th, how about if we leave it at this, through the chair, I'm sorry.
Sure.
If people are available for the 15th and the 22nd, and as soon as SBC decides, we'll send out an email.
Yeah,
Okay,
that works.
that's fine.
Yep.
Okay.
So it's or.
Is it either, yeah, it's either or. Well, 22nd would be planning board meeting, and I have to go
So
review it.
we'll say the
Say
15th
the
and
15th and 22nd.
So maybe we should try for the 15th then. Maybe our preference would be the 15th.
Okay.
So,
Yeah.
anything else?
Yeah.
Motion to adjourn.
Should-
I'll make a
Second.
motion to adjourn.
Second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Right, great.